Thank you very much for that kind introduction, Roger. I think I'll start on a lighter note. I would like to wish everyone a very happy Friday the 13th. If you were to examine and probe a Paris Decker triophobe, you'd find a person who takes his luck, not one who courageously makes his luck. But how do you learn to do this well? Is there an elixir, potion, or spell? I foraged and found a recipe. Take a generous dollop of diligence, then sprinkle it with intelligence. Put a topping of compassion above, and bake it all with the warmth of love. And when you hear the clarion call, serve a good portion to one and all. All that you make with compassion and care, not for yourself, but to widely share, will surely bring you bounteous luck. In superstition, don't be stuck. I assure you, nothing at all will be lost. But just in case, keep fingers crossed. And now, on a more serious note, it is no longer climate change within a tolerable range. A crisis is what it's about, with fires, floods, as well as drought. Every week, a constant blast, far worse than seen in the past. If we must, we will adapt. Prevention, though, would be more apt. There is a cost to adaptation. It's rising fast in every nation, as well as for the world at large, and this will be a heavy charge. In fact, we should by now conclude prevention would be really shrewd. It actually would cost much less. Indeed, avoid a lot of stress. Collective action is what's needed. To some extent, we have succeeded. But all the same, it's very tough, as we haven't done enough. We'll need financing for mitigation, as well as for adaptation. While that would be very nice, alas, it really won't suffice. We really can't afford to wait, as we risk being too late. Technology provides the way. There's something new every day, but financing is what we need for new technology to succeed. We need emissions elimination, as well as carbon sequestration, stored underground or in stone, or else more trees can be grown. At first it seems like a pain, but there is much to gain. And I will put you in the loop with the experience of our group. Many benefits can be seen in our program Good and Green. And so without partiality, our goal for all's neutrality, whether water, carbon, or solid waste, by 2020, we would make haste to make our net emission zero. Did that make the group a hero? In 2010, the goal looked tall, but we took a reasoned call. Technology would save the day, and mostly it turned out that way. As technology took a leap, green energy got very cheap. Keen observers quickly saw that solar also tracks Moore's law. Whether it's bamboo or bagasse, India's full of biomass. At first we thought we'd have to spend, but that's not true, for in the end, the more we thought and the more we slaved, we did invest, but we also saved. And solar is still getting cheaper. And as we do start digging deeper, in India, it will hit the goal of being cheaper than even coal in a handful of years. Already we and our peers are sourcing solar electricity at lower rates than from the utility. Our emissions are on a downward trend. All our teams I do commend. Efficiency has been the key. With it, we are bound to see both lower emissions and lower cost. Without a trade-off, nothing's lost. Do not believe in either or. Our hearts and minds demand much more. We know that we can sustain, not at a loss, but with a gain. There are many paths that we can see for achieving carbon neutrality, but the cheapest way is certainly through energy efficiency. Real interest rates are rather low, and high returns quickly flow from any energy-saving device. For business, this is very nice. Not only are returns quite brisk, there's also very little risk. In India, mandated CSR can help us go very far. Multiple benefits is what one sees with water projects or growing trees. Good livelihoods are created, our carbon emissions are abated, trees planted at a river source maintain the flow throughout its course. So many benefits we can see: the preservation of biodiversity, different species can be tried, useful products can be supplied like biomass or edible fruits, and yet the trunk and the roots can sequester carbon, clean the air, a win-win that is very fair. If annual crops on a farm are replaced by the oil palm, 2 vegetable oils can be supplied. Biomass we can provide. Carbon capture is a gain, and the tree attracts the rain. So while we decarbonize, why not also monetize? So never fall for either or. Our hearts and minds demand much more. Neutrality can come with ease. Some may think that I'm at ease. All companies are not yet sold. For some it's tough, or so I'm told. Energy-intensive groups would say it's tougher then for them to play. If you can turn all waste to gold, and if you can be very bold with inventing technology, any industry can see eventual neutrality. And there is so much more to gain if it's across the entire chain. Climate finance we would need if we are to succeed, both to alleviate and mitigate. But to my mind, it would be great if everyone's a real hero and strives to get right to net zero. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have Mr. Godrej for our conferences. His words have always been very, very delightful. Thank you very much, sir, for taking time off and joining us here today. We would like to present a token of our appreciation. I request Mr. Narendra Nayal to kindly present a token of our appreciation to Mr. Godrej. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us on stage. I'm going to request you all to take your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up next, we have a Member of Parliament, Rajya Sabha, Ms. Vandana Chavan, who's going to be joining us online. So this is going to be a video conference, and she has a special address, a special message for all of you. Can we loop in the conference, please?